Sweden's capital is the most energising city you'll find around the 60-degree north line of latitude. In 10 minutes flat, I want to introduce you to this handsome city in 10 easy steps and show you the best places and faces of Stockholm, starting with the local equivalent of the number 10 bus.
Welcome to Sweden's happy and glorious capital. Stockholm is unique, created on 14 islands, each with their individual character and attractions. And it's been called the Venice of the North, which is, I think, ridiculous. It is no fading anachronism.
Fine at 9. Fragments of land separated by the steely Baltic provide perfect platforms for some dramatic architecture. This isn't a cathedral, it's the City Hall. Forget stuffy municipal buildings. Stockholm's Tower of Power is dressed up like a film starlet and is a must for glamour-chasing visitors.
When the 20th century was young, Stockholm yearned for some style, some scale, some sparkle. And this was the result. The Stadshuset, the City Hall, which is where Sweden meets early Hollywood. I'm in the Golden Hall, which speaks for itself. Come and have a look at the Blue Hall, which doesn't.
The Blue Hall was the original name on the drawing made by Ragnar Östberg, the architect of this building. But then when he saw the building coming up, the red brick stones, he decided to not paint the walls with the blue color that he first had planned. So he believed that the red tone of the brick stones are very warm and welcoming. So welcome to the City Hall and its Blue Hall.
Next on the director's 8mm camera, another celluloid hero. Every time I return to Stockholm, there's something fresh and exciting, such as this old customs hall on the waterfront, reinvented for the 21st century as Fotografiska.
Our philosophy is to combine art, culture with fine, good dining and good wine. And I think that's really have become a hit in Stockholm, and that's why we have 400,000 people here on a yearly basis.
To maximise your enjoyment of the capital of minimalism, pick a great place to stay. Luckily, there's plenty of choice. On the first island between Stockholm and the Baltic, this handsome 17th century barracks has been converted into the chic and comfortable Hotel Skeppsholmen, with the adjacent stables housing the studio of Benny and Bjorn from ABBA. Yes, them. The city's biggest hotel is the Clarion Sign, featuring elegant suites with dazzling views, a rooftop pool that's warm and welcoming even when the temperature is below freezing, and the best Sunday brunch in town at the American Table restaurant. But if 7 is your lucky number, here's a unique alternative.
Most hotels and hostels tend to stay where you put them. Not this one though.
After several careful owners and many million miles, this Boeing 747 jet made its final journey to a corner of Stockholm's Arlanda airport, where it offers a unique experience.
Welcome to Jumbo Stay. This is not like any other hostel you have ever stayed in. A lovely single room if you're on your own. If you're with company, well, you have to have room 747. This is the cockpit suite. Doors to manual. Östermalmshallen, the local market, but it feels a bit like Harrods Food Hall with some very strange creatures. Indeed, if you've never tried reindeer salami, this is the place to get it. It really stocks an entire menagerie of strange and wonderful Nordic nosh. What could be better than dining out at what some people say is the greatest as well as the latest restaurant in Stockholm, Ekstedt? Well, how about finding yourself centre stage on the chef's table? The great notion here is that every diner should be able to see the exquisite handiwork that goes into every dish.
I want the feeling that you are in my house, you are my guest for real. It's more warm, more welcome feeling, I think.
I only have 15 seconds to tell you about Gustav's signature dish, and it is chimney smoked lobster with chili and tomatoes and roasted almonds, a cream which contains raw lobster and a sauce made of smoked lobster shells. If you like lobster, this is the dish.
Stockholm equals style, and on display at the Svensk 10 store on the waterfront are the 4 principles of design: form, function, flair and formidable good taste. They unite to make window shopping a real treat in the Swedish capital.
However, not everything about Swedish design has always been perfect, as you're about to see.
3 principles for a new and expensive warship. It must impress the king, intimidate the enemy and sail gracefully across the 7 seas.
Imagine the scene, the 10th of August 1628, and the Vasa, the pride of the Swedish Navy, sets sail. On her maiden voyage, what could possibly go wrong? 15 minutes later, she sinks with the loss of more than 50 lives, a disaster of, well, Titanic proportions. For the next 333 years, she lies in the mud at the bottom of Stockholm harbour until she is resurrected and brought here to this museum, which has become her permanent landlocked home. This is amazing. There's more rigging than a Eurovision jury.
2 of Stockholm's top museums, one celebrating Alfred Nobel, who created dynamite and used his fortune to fund the planet's prizes for excellence.
Our expertise, our notion is perhaps been mostly in the fields of history of ideas, history of science, history of literature. We don't claim to teach the actual science or the actual economics, but rather the history of it.
And Skansen, a Scandinavian theme park where the theme is rescuing Sweden's heritage from the March of Progress. Dozens of buildings from across the nation reveal how simple and tough life once was.
This isn't exactly a piece of traditional Swedish life, but it is good fun. 25 krona going up, only 15 if you're coming down. Like Alfred Nobel, Arthur Hazelius was wealthy, altruistic and enlightened. And in 1891, as Sweden was rushing headlong to the modern age, he decided to preserve the traditional way of life.
The winner takes it all, and it's almost 40 years since that memorable night in Brighton when an unknown pop group called ABBA won the Eurovision Song Contest and went on to dominate the charts for a decade. Only the Beatles, Elvis Presley and Michael Jackson have sold more music. And at last, Sweden's gift to the world is celebrated with a brand new museum.
You will hear 4 amazing voices. You will hear Björn, Benny, Agneta and Frida tell their story about the ABBA adventure. On a small stage we have set up here at the museum, the 4 ABBA members is in holograms in life size. And you can enter that stage and become the 5th member of ABBA, singing and dancing with them, and at the same time being filmed, to have a film to keep and push to your friends on social media. And you know, many people, more people than you might expect, has dreamed of being the 5th member of ABBA, and now the time has come.
Money, money, money. The nation that brought us ABBA and IKEA and Volvo is never going to be cheap, but it's always good value. If you want to put a bit of sparkle in your travel, come to Stockholm. How do you turn this thing off then? It's beautiful, but hang on, where's the switch? I can't find it anywhere. And that's because, silly me, it's here. I think. Go on, go on, go on. You did last night. What's going on?